Welcome to Digital Toolbox. I'm Scott, and today we're going to generate a surface based on a mathematical function. This tutorial, I'm using a definition that we already looked at in the range tutorial. I've cleaned it up a little bit, but it's essentially the same thing. We have a range that's generated by a domain that we can edit, as well as the number of steps in that range. And then a sine function is the mathematical formula that we're using. I can toggle the frequency as well as the amplitude. And this is represented in a list of x, y, and z points, right now all in the x and z axes. So I'm just going to take this definition, select all of them, copy and paste. I'll just drag it down below, and now we have two of the exact same range functions, except now that I have a second series of points, I can go ahead and edit the frequency on this one, and it doesn't change the original set of points. So now I have a less frequent sine curve and a more frequent sine curve. You can even go up and change the amplitude for the first one, decrease it, keep the same. But now that we have two ranges and two sets of points, we can go ahead and create a surface based on these. So the first thing we need to do is move the second set of points. Otherwise we won't have a curve, a very nice surface. So I'll go under cross form, Euclidean, there's a move button. And the move button just asks for a geometry for us to move. We'll take our set of points, throw under G, and it gives us the geometry. And then it asks for a translation vector, T. Under vector, under constants, we'll just move it in the Y direction, so unit Y. Put that in the translation vector. So here you can see that it is moving it. It's duplicating it and moving it one unit in the Y direction. To move it more units, we'll take the slider from before, copy it, and we'll move it 11 units. So we can just put 11 into F, and you can see it's moved however many units over to in the Y direction that we want. So if we highlight the move button, we get a preview of the moved coordinate points. If we go back to the second set of points, it still keeps those points there in a visual representation of those points are still the ones that we copied from the first range. If we don't want to see that, we can go ahead and right click and deselect the preview option, and then we just see the moved coordinates as well as the original points from our range. So this is the majority of what we're going to do with this tutorial is this move tool, and we can move this in any axis or direction that we want, but we're just going to keep with the 16 units in the Y direction. And now we're going to take these moved coordinates with our original points, and first step is going to be drawing lines in between them. So I'll just clean up the definition, bring our second range down there, and then look for the line. The line button is under curve, primitive line, just the 2-point line is what we want. Zoom in and highlight our first set of points and our second set of points. The line just asks for A start point and B start point. It's pretty simple. Take the A to the first and our B to the second set of points. So here we go. We have a very interesting set of lines based on the the sine curve that we first generated using a range. So these are still editable. We can go back and use the sliders to toggle those, and we can also even toggle the amount of number of steps or the domain too. So we can toggle the domain for the first set. We'll put that up to 26 with 50 steps, and we'll go down to our second range, and we'll have that at 15 with 50 steps to keep the numbers the same. Or we can go up to 20. So it's off by 5. But that generates our set of points and the lines between. So now we'll go ahead and create a surface out of this. Right now it's just these lines that we created, and to create a surface we'll just loft these lines together. They're very nice section lines. We'll go under surface, freeform, gives us the loft button. The loft button is really easy for this. It just asks for section curves. We'll just take the S and drag it to the L, and that gives us a full surface for our lines. So there you have it, a surface driven by these geometric mathematical functions that are still editable. We can still control the period and the amplitude, and everything updates as it were. So in this tutorial we took the basic range function with a sine function, copied it, and used the move tool to move these points, the line tool to draw lines between those points, and then the loft button to get a nice even surface out of it. So there you have it. Hope you learned something, and we'll see you next time.